Absolutely. One of the things that people kind of get stuck in is that they label, I am depressed. Well, no, you're feeling depression right now. Acknowledge it. Yeah.
And the one thing I found within all of these is there's one constant. The one constant was me.
Every breath, every second is a new me. It's a new opportunity.
Because this version of you has never left you. It has always stood by your side. It still believes in your dreams when nobody else does. What happens when you're apologizing for being you? What does that say?
When you detect bullshit, toxicity, or solicitation to dumb yourself down, don't be afraid. Be the dragon. Hi, this is Curtis McCullum with the Curtis McCullum Show, where we get into the mindsets of top CEOs and entrepreneurs around the world. They share with you what it takes to be and become the best version of yourself. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show, and Bespoke helps CEOs and founders and entrepreneurs kind of eliminate those blind spots, those things that kind of sometimes we've been dragging around since childhood. So, if you find yourself blocked or you find something just kind of keeping you from becoming the best version of yourself, please reach out to me. Let's have a quick call. Let's have a clarity call or just an introduction call just to kind of see where you are on your journey and see how can I help and support you to move to the next level. Let's uncover what's actually standing in your way so that you can get moving forward. And by the way, if you are enjoying this show, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and review. Leave us a positive review. Your support kind of helps us to grow the channel, number one, and help more people who are ready to transform their lives. Today in studio, I have Kristen.
Yes.
Kristen.
Yes. Kristen.
Kristen
I
Clark.
answer to it all.
She answers to it all.
The R is before the I. Kristen.
Kristen Clark. In her bio, she says she's nothing. She's not about average anything, right? No labels, no niches, just unapologetic celebration. We were just laughing about that right before we got on the air there. It's not motivation, it's not inspiration, it's just being joy. And I'm telling you, when you see her, feel her presence, who she is, you're gonna understand her bio, what she stands for, is who she is. She definitely celebrates life. She celebrates good news, the infinite possibilities that exist right here and right now. And she's in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you, Curtis. I'm so happy to be here. I love what you said because I even celebrate the things that we were not taught to celebrate. Right. It's like, oh, you're vibrating low, or where are you on the emotional scale? And I did have somebody ask me the other day, they're like, oh, well, you don't celebrate depression. And I said, you know what? Number one, I'm going to get to the other side. It's not a big deal. I always have. Number two, there's the celebration. I don't speak from pain. I speak from power, the power that always comes in on the other side of whatever you're playing with. They're just sandboxes, like when you're a little kid and, this sandbox over here had these toys and this one over here has these toys. And you can choose to get down in the muckety muck and get lost in it feel and you're still not less of you. It doesn't make you any less of who you are. You're still amazing. You still are unbelievably powerful and strong and capable of anything. And none of these things define you.
Absolutely. One of the things that people kind of get stuck in is that they label, I am depressed. Well, no, you're feeling depression right now, like you said before, and it's okay. It's like, okay, right now, that's what I'm feeling. I'm not identifying with it. And that's what I try to tell my clients all the time is don't identify with it, acknowledge it. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling right now. And what is it I need to learn from is what I need to grow so that when I'm coming out of it, my dad was an old country Mississippi preacher, and he used to say, hey, it's okay to visit the valley. Just don't pitch a tent down there. No.
That was awesome. And if you do, good on you. I have so many people that are like, but why? Why did I go there? Because you can. Bottom line, because you can. If you gave yourself that kind of a pat on the back, no matter what you're playing with, if you're like,
right.
then all those becauses and all those past stories that drag you down and shrink you down are they just kind of disappear. They kind of just away because you're not giving them any energy or attention. Oh, I'm depressed because when I was 13 and oh, good God, here we go. And it's like you don't need to bleed on the microphone to own your power, to be the enormous being you are. All you have to do is go, I did it because I can.
There you go. Now, Kirsten, look, everybody has a journey. Now, you did, I can't believe, or maybe you were, I don't know, maybe you came out of the womb feeling this energetic and this passion.
You're not the first one to say that.
or did something happen along the way, this journey that you're currently on? So kind of share with the world a little bit about your journey. How did you get to where you are now?
I'm 58 years old, and I could say my life has been like 20 lifetimes. There have been so many wonderful experiences, but the thing is it's not. We're not butterflies, right? We don't suddenly have a transformation and all the angels sing. Right. It's not like that. We have. For the first, I would say 10 years of my life, I was very Christian. I read the Bible. Right. I didn't know what I was reading, but I read it. and I prayed every night. And then the questions start happening like, well, what about this? And what about this? And it didn't fit me anymore because I had changed. And that just going with the belief, didn't work anymore. And then it became, I would say, more like spirit guides and angels and just very loving, having something always got your back. And again, and that was wonderful and that was fun and it was channeled entities and your questions were finally getting answered and that was fun. That was exciting, but it doesn't stop there. I would have loved to have parked it there, but no, all of a sudden it was like, well, I have more questions now and it's not being answered. So then in comes non-duality and that was very freeing in one direction, but it was also very confining in another. And it didn't fit me either. It was great. Again, I was like, I'm going to park it here. I found the answer to the universe. And yes, it was an answer for that moment. Right. And then, more and more. And the one thing I found within all of these, whether it was Buddhism or whatever, is there's one constant. There was one constant. They were all different. They had similar beliefs, but there was only one constant in everything in my life, whether it was a belief or an experience or a feeling or interactions with a person. Right. The one constant was me. It was always me. And the coolest thing is when you take a time to stop and ask yourself, do I have any memory of not existing? Not somebody told me this and that. Right. Do I have any memory of not existing? Well, of course not. Yeah. No. And as Occam's razor shows us, the simplest answer tends to be the one. So it was like, okay, why am I spending so much time out there, focusing on things out there that don't stay. They come in, play with me, and then they go. And they come in and they play with me and they go. And it can be your wife, it can be your child, and you could say, oh, they're gone because they went to work or they went to school. But there's the one thing in your reality that has never, ever, ever left your side and cannot. You cannot imagine what it's like to not exist. You can't. It's an impossibility.
That's interesting when you saying that like that. Like you said, number one, when you go back to what we just talked about, your journey, there was a journey and there was a transformation because you went from You say you tried this, and as you grew, which is a part of my philosophy, is that this life, what I came to about a couple of years ago, was that this life is about learning, growing, expanding, and transforming. Right? Meaning, like
Mm-hmm.
everything that we do is for learning. It's not something to be like, oh my God, this happened to me. No, this is an opportunity for me to grow and expand and not wallow in it, but just kind of take it as what it is. It's a moment in time and keep
Yeah.
moving. And it's interesting that there is one constant, and I like that. I never thought
Isn't
about
that
it that
amazing?
way. Right, it's
Yeah.
amazing. That's one constant that has been with me for 60 years.
Yep.
I'm going on, I'll be 61 in June. So there's one constant that has been with me for 60 years. And as long as I can remember, it's me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love that you said that. Because if you think back to your memories, if I was to ask you what's the first birthday party you can remember
Right, right, right.
or whatever, if you go back and you look at all the different Curtises you've been,
Right,
you were the 10-year-old Curtis and you had these friends and you had these beliefs
right.
and that was you. And then 15 years old, there's no sign of that 10-year-old, long
Right.
gone. The 15-year-old has all new beliefs, all new ways to interact, especially because of hormones. And, now this is me. And the
Right.
same thing happened in our 20s and our 30s and our 40s and on and on and on. There's always this new me. But within there, if you think back, you can always find you, this Curtis, the
Yeah.
feeling of this Curtis, whether you were a little tiny tyke or whether you were older and a parent or whatever. The coolest thing is in these memories, you can always find this energy, this frequency
Yeah.
of this version of you. And
Yeah.
it's an extremely fun and powerful place to play, to go back and go, oh yeah, there I am in that memory. And there I am in that memory, even though that identity was completely different and might as well be a different person. And it
Right.
was, uh, there I am and there I am. And it really is amazing because do you know much about Eckhart Tolle and the now and all
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The power of
Love
now.
Eckhart.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
read his book. It's a good book. Yeah.
It's a great book. Yeah. The thing is, when I was reading that book, I kept replacing the now with me. Hence
Mm.
comes in metaphysical of what I do.
Right. Right. Right.
And it was still brilliant, but it took on
Different
such a
meaning.
space of
Yeah.
empowerment. Oh, but
Yeah.
also clarity. Because and I'll use a great example of right now. So in this moment, right here, right now, this is a brand new, fresh version of you. You've never
Never
existed like
experienced
this
this
ever.
person.
This is brand new.
I've
Yeah.
never experienced this moment that me and you are now conversating right now. This is
Nope.
brand new. Even though
Nope.
we had a quick conversation before the podcast started, and now we're like 12 minutes in, totally different.
Yes. And
Everything's
and
new.
and right now, same thing. And with this breath, same thing. And with this breath, same thing.
Wow.
Brand new,
Wow.
fresh, right? And you're always that. You're always that brand new, fresh. But you create these things called memories to give yourself a sense of time, to give yourself this
Yeah.
sense of concreteness. But when you come to this moment right now that just made you go, wow, you can feel the timelessness. You can feel that has never existed and will never exist again.
Wow. I mean, you
And
know what? I've never looked at it like that. I never looked at it like that. Is that, and then, but I think that's kind of where, because I was searching, just like you were searching, right? I'm searching. I was like, God, okay, what what is this all about, right? Really? I mean, like, really, what is this all about? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, not the when I was born and raised in Mississippi. My father was a fire and brimstone preacher, and that's the way I was raised. So I was raised in a very strict Christian like atmosphere, and like, hey, and for me, like every week I was going to hell. Oh my God, So I'm always afraid I'm going to hell. So, but then, so what I'm saying is, but I'm asking, like, this can't be the end be all. It just can't be, and it took, but for me, it took me. 50 plus years to realize, to ask those hard questions of myself, to feel like, okay, what is this really all about? I kept asking and seeking because it just didn't feel right to me, and finally got it. But then you put another level on it where you talk about the fact that, wow, every moment, every breath, every second is a new me. It's a new opportunity. And that's why I guess where you talk about the fact that this unapologetic being that you are. Bespoke Human Potential Coaching sponsors this show. Bespoke helps CEOs, founders, and entrepreneurs get rid of those blind spots that they've been carrying around since childhood. So if you're stuck and have some blocks, click the link below for your clarity call or scan the QR code if you're on video. Let's get rid of those blinds. Now back to the interview.
Yeah. Because I'm going to pop all the bubbles. All the ones floating around. Doink, 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 doink. I'm like that dog that runs around and wants to bite all the bubbles. Yeah. No, I mean, and then you go to this moment right here, this space of brand new, and the wonderful thing to do is go for a walk, and just walk with this, and don't try to find the answer. Don't try and grab it, because there's nothing to grab. You're right here. It's like, I'm right here. Well, I got to seek. I got to find it. No. It's right here.
Just
see, touch it. Here's the elbow. It's right here. And the seeker does not like this, because it does not. It's too simple. It's too easy for the seeker. The seeker wants, a scavenger hunt. The seeker wants to be given the little bit of a breadcrumb. Oh, look, I'm finding it. But the seeker loves to live in the I'm finding it. The seeker is not looking to live in the I have found it. Because part of the thing the seeker knows is that there is none of that. We don't ever come to the ceiling, here now you've died and you're going to heaven and all is well. It's never like that. You continue. You've never not existed. You're never going to stop. And you get to play in that space. So back to that little space where you're sitting. And you're thinking, well, wait a minute. Now I'm going to this now, and now I'm going to this now. So I am in time. No, you're sitting here in the middle, and all of that is just swirling around you, and you get to play with it. But you don't shift. You don't change. You don't get up off this chair and move. You're right here, and it's all swirling around you, and you get to play with different parts of it and create these things called memory. So you get to have this experience of time while you're in timelessness. And it's not one or the other. It's you, which is it all.
See, now I think I can see the minds on the podcast. People like,
we call that brain breaking.
I can see the tiny bitty, these little tiny explosions going around the world. And people are like, oh my God. Some people are saying, this is what they're saying, Kristen. This lady is off her rocker, like she's lost it, right? And then some people are like, that's interesting. Then some are like, oh boy, if that's true, then everything that I was taught to believe is not true.
Yeah. But who taught you this?
Yeah, but I'm saying,
if you're out of time.
Well, this is the thing, though. This is the thing. This is real. This is real for a lot of people because
this is raw.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the thing, though. Okay, when I was going through my transformation, when I was going through my moment, when I was going through my journey and asking the questions, one thing the Bible tells us, he said, the truth shall set you free. Right? Okay. Yes. Now this is the scary part, right? The scary part is that now once I'm free from the bondage of those old beliefs, what do I do now?
What do I do now? Talk about the ultimate freedom.
Wow.
Because, right? Doesn't that feel enormous in front of you and kind of scary?
This is the scary part is that
yes.
Think about it. If for 50 years, right, I've had this belief, these thoughts, these memories that have put me in a bondage, right? In a way, enslaved me in a way that this is all I know. This is all I know. Now you're telling me I'm free to be in the moment, in the now, and enjoy the moment and just be here now
Yeah.
without the old beliefs. That's scary for a lot of. Well, that was scary for me.
Oh,
But
it's scary for me too. And I was like, woo, yeah. Because you, because the thing is this, you've never not been this person. Truly. You've never not been this being that's always been nose to nose with the unknown.
right.
You've always been here in this fresh, brand new space, always. And you didn't die. What was
Right.
that? The Bachelor's movie. Did you die? But did you die? No. You and that's a comfort. That's a comfort to go, I've always kind of been here and I'm doing okay. But the other thing is this. So let's say we went shopping and I said, Curtis, feel free to buy whatever and as much as you want.
Oh boy.
Right? Oh boy. That when there's such a yumminess within somebody saying, feel free,
Oh yeah. Oh
feel
yeah.
free.
It is. It is.
Yes. And so when life comes up to you and says, feel free, just feel free.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to feel depression? Feel free. You want to feel anger? Feel free. Not going to stop you anyway. You don't stop being this being that's right here in this fresh, brand new moment. Nothing you can do can stop that, can halt it. You can be a murderer. You're still going to be this being in this fresh, brand new moment.
Right.
Yeah. And not that I'm saying that's a place to go, and I know nobody would, but it's when something says to you, feel free. Feel free to live.
Well, and like I said before, I mean, because of the beliefs, the values that we've been brought up with, the restraints, the limitations, the limiting beliefs, that 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 kind of prevents us from having that sense of freedom. And like I said, for me personally, when I realized that I was free to do and be who God created me to be, that was scary. I mean, it's like, oh my God, now what? Because I don't have these old confines that used to imprison me and
Well
used to
said.
limit me. Now it's time for me to forge this new journey of just being, and that it's a powerful thing to be. And for me, and I can only speak for me, it was scary. But now that's why I like, okay, that's what this life is all about. It's about expansion. It's about growth. It's about being in the moment when I was 10, being in the moment when I was 15, being in the moment when I was 50, now being in the moment when I'm now 60, being in this moment without judgment. I mean, the judgment is because if I learn something from it, I'm free from that. Now I can just be Curtis, be the authentic Curtis. That's powerful. That's
And the
powerful.
crazy thing is you're going to find how big, how colossal Curtis is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
How
mean, yeah.
eternal. Yes. And I'm not talking some invisible soul or consciousness. No, this Curtis right here. You have no memory of this Curtis right here, never not existing.
Right.
Yeah. And that's a huge space to play in. And I love that you said, there was that moment of, you get scared, but it
Oh
was
yeah.
like the scared of a roller coaster,
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
that drop. And it was like, and now you're like, let's do that again.
Mhm.
Let's go ride
Yeah, I
that
know
again.
because that's part of it. It's like because that's part of the that's part of the I would say reservation of individuals not letting go. Because but being a mindset coach, part of that is the subconscious mind always like to stay what it knows. Like it holds on. The homeostasis is that I want to hold on to that which I'm comfortable with. even though it might not be good for me, I want to still hold on to it, even though, because that still makes me feel safe. Even though I know it's not safe for me, it makes me feel safe. So I'm going to hold on to it anyway. And that's what a lot of individuals do even when they come to me for this freeing. You know, I was telling you right before I got on the call today, I was going through a breakthrough with a young lady, and now she was like, you know, she came in like this and she left like, oh my God. I mean, one of the goals she wanted was to feel light and to feel free and to feel like her authentic self. And within hours, a couple of hours, that's what she felt. Wow, that's freeing. It's like, wow. So it can happen. And it doesn't take years. It takes moments. It takes deciding. It takes you being you. And then wow. So now explain to us the unapologetic authenticity. What does that mean?
You know, there's an aspect of ourselves that will shrink. Will
Okay.
will shrink for one reason or another. Maybe you're shrinking because you're in a room of certain people that you're worried are going to judge you, so you
Right.
shrink.
Okay.
Or maybe, you're around somebody who, is inviting you to shrink down to what makes them comfortable.
Wow.
Like you were saying a second ago, people are going to be going, God, she's crazy.
Mhm.
And, I never experience that because I don't even worry about that. But it's, if I was to say, oh, don't rock the boat, Kristen,
Right.
don't talk about this kind of crazy level stuff. If I was to play there, yes, shrinking is a big invitation. And
Okay.
so it's finally saying no. I will not shrink. This part of me that has been with me my whole life. This part that has been whispering in my ear my whole life, going, okay, I'm hearing this teaching over here, and it's being taught by the guru of the guru, the
Right.
guru of the stars, whatever. And I'm over here going, no, I don't believe this. It's not even that I don't believe it. It requires a framework that I don't interact with.
Okay.
And to stand by me instead of being like, ooh, I'm scared what this person's going to think. It's no, this is me. And trust me, everybody keeps up just fine because I'm not trying to change anyone. I'm just going, remember, this was you. Remember? And they're like,
Right.
this does sound familiar. This does. I think I knew this. And it's like, yeah. It's and the coolest thing is what I love more than anything is I'm not a big when I was into law of attraction, all that, there's so much invisible. There's so much you have to have faith
Right.
because I'm not going to show you. You're not going to get to see it and feel it and touch it and smell it. It's just on faith.
Right.
And the cool thing about with the metaphysical is it's right here. You don't have to be in faith in any way, shape, or form because it's right here. I can
Right.
say, do you have any memory of this body not
Right.
existing? And it's like, no. And when you go into that, no, there's a whole lot in that I don't have to say a thing. You
Right.
can feel it. And and for many, it's just, that's all the seed they need. It's not my job to grind it in and come on, you got to understand. That's not my job.
Well,
My
I think
job is just to say life, my life is alive and it loves to come out and play.
right. I think that's the. I mean, to me is like I don't even with my personal beliefs, I'm not the evangelist that
Yeah.
I used to be. I gotta come and save your soul. No, I don't have to do that. That's your job to do what you
Yeah.
need to do with your life. My
The
job
zealot.
is my job. I don't have to like go out and beat the doors and knock doors and like, hey, if you don't believe this today, you're going to no. I don't need that. You don't need that. Basically, I think being and understanding who we are and not being being authentic to who we are,
Yes.
and get off the roller coaster of trying to prove to the world who you are. Just be. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I
What
mean,
is it?
and that one I'm still working on. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still
And
working,
it,
which is okay.
tomorrow there's gonna be something from this that's gonna hit you, and you're
Yeah.
gonna go, oh. And I mean, so going back to the unapologetic, what happens when you're apologizing for being you?
Wow.
What is that saying to ourselves? Yeah, that is not a place you want to go. That is not a good place because this version of you has never left you. It has always
Mm.
stood by your side. It still believes in your dreams when nobody else does. It is your biggest fan. It is, right there. And when you sit there and have to apologize for this,
Mm.
yeah, that hurts. You can feel it. You can feel the, ugh.
Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah, you can feel
Yeah.
it. So how can they get in touch with you, Kristen?
You guys can always find me online. You can Google Kristen Clark, but my thing is this: put in MF between the Kristen and the Clark, and then you'll find me. And yes, it means what you think it means. It does. See, now you'll never forget. And there's 1,000 billion Kristen Clarks out there, but there's only one MFer. And you'll find my website. You'll find Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Curtis is putting it in. He's like, I got to do this. And that was the unapologetic aspect of me who stepped up and said, yeah, MF right
I know
here.
you said, I think in part of your bio, you're like
Yeah.
something like, hey, oh yeah, I'm Kristen M.F. Clark. Yeah, there you
Yep.
go. Yeah, I didn't even catch that until you just said it to me now. I think another part just really cracked me up when I was just reading it again. Over, it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you said. This is a quote from Kristen. When you detect bullshit, toxicity, or solicitation to dumb yourself down to the version of what their need is, don't be afraid. Be the dragon.
Da, da, da. Dragon Lady right here.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So what would you like to leave with the audience, Kristen?
Oh, you know what? Curtis just left you guys with the best one. I have all sorts of quotes, but that's the best one. And I love that it came out because it is the unapologetic aspect of you. And, you can always find me. I always have events. I'm wide open available for stage events. That's my drug of choice.
Right.
And yeah. And, if you need help, I do mentoring. I'm there.
There you go. There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. Like you said, when you detect bullshit, toxicity, solicitation to dumb yourself down to the version what their need is, don't. Guys, you heard it directly from her, from me, from you. Don't be afraid. She says, be the dragon.
Be the dragon.
I tell you guys, we're in for a treat today. When she stepped into when she stepped into the studio, I'm telling you, she's just been a joy for me, and that's what she talks about: being the pure joy, the easy fun, the boldness of life. And you can see she just bubbles with it. That's who she is. She's not she doesn't
Apologize.
she doesn't apologize for it at all. Kristen, thank you so much for being a part of the show, and I want to publicly thank you too. She's been very flexible in our scheduling, and she lives. I'm telling you, based on my experience with her on the short time we've been together, she doesn't just teach it and preach it. That's who she is. She's like
thank
this.
you.
That's who she is, and I appreciate the authenticity.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when you say it 3 times, it gets all tongue-tied. But guys, thank you once again. Thank you, Kristen, for being a part of the show, and also we'd like to thank the listeners. I'm telling you, she gave you a lot to think about. When did you not exist? When did you not were just you? And you just kind of ruminate on that. And then she told you to just, when you walk, don't walk to think, just walk to be.
Yeah.
Wow. I do 10,000 steps a day, Kristen. And part of my day when I get off the air today, because I'm way behind on my steps, I'm gonna do some steps just to be and just kind of test it out.
Yeah. There's a reason you're called a human being, not a
Being, not a human
being.
doing, but a human
Doing.
being.
How many
Not a
times I got to hear
human
that one?
pattern, but a human being. Be who
Being.
you are. Guys, remember, my philosophy is that true success comes when you and kind of embrace what I consider the legit mindset, which is still what Kristen, I don't know if you know that name.
I know my name.
Yeah, is the learning, the growing, and expanding, and transforming because we're not the same. That's the thing about it is that once we understand that this moment is an opportunity for me to grow and learn because I'm not going to experience this moment anymore and
Yeah.
learn. There
Ever
it is.
again.
Never again. Wow. Now, if this episode resonates with you, please, if you want to speak with me about a breakthrough, some blind spots that's kind of holding you back, please use the link below to schedule your free clarity call. And let's unlock your full potential together. If you want to reach out to Kristen, please follow the links below. Kristen M.F. Clark.
Clark. Or Clark-Kristen.com.
There you go.
It's easy.
Clark-Kristen.com. Both of them are down below. Please reach out to her. Once again, guys, my name is Curtis McCullum. Make it a great day. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show.
Yay.